How are we doing here? How are we doing, hey? We're live, and yes, get that out of the way. Application. What was I doing here? Destroying textures. Okay, that's fine. Just sorting out stuff there. Get that off the screen, and let's go over where we're up to. Here we are. Day 7. It's our first rewrite. And I was trying to work out my timings. I wanted better timings on this, and I also wanted it to work. Basically, what I found out last night at the end of day 6 is that a byte sent across the network is not the same storage type as a byte held in memory for a string. And we had it equal to we had an equal sign in there that was just messing things up. Let's put it that way. So it was never going to work. And thank you, phone. Our first rewrite. So part 1. I've started it. I've got all the basics out of the way. So let's just see the basics. The basic rewrite. Let's go back to here, and the basic rewrite is in the SDK under network. I've reset it to uint8 data and uint8 data types so that my equal sign here doesn't mess things up, because now we've got uint8 going to a uint8. So everything's a little tad better, shall we say. Don't like that. I'm going to put in a new uint8. There we go, that's better. I didn't like that. So that we are returning at least a variable. Yeah, that's okay. Save that. I keep messing with this every time I see it, this little line here, because I'm not overly sure what it should be. A null pointer? We're sending data then to a null pointer. No, let's send it to a proper one. So that's okay there. Return num sent equals int. Yeah, okay. So run build task, and that's the SDK. So those are my alterations around that area. Of course, you have to alter the header file as well to agree. Should mention that, shouldn't I? So once you've got rid of strings, you can go in here. You can get rid of strings here, and we obviously have to make sure that all these agree here, all the declarations agree with what was said in the definitions. So uint8 coming out, and a uint8 going in for the data. Okay. Yeah, everything looks good there. Yeah, everything looks good there. It was a little bit of fun last night looking at that, trying to work out if I could do a converter for the data types. And then I thought, well, why? This is a prototype. What's the point? Just rewrite it so it's in the same style. So what I've done here is I took out everything that was in the while loop. Kept event, position X, position Y for the user. Set them to 400, 300. We've got delta time, data time, frame start, frame end, frame total. We have a time buffer, which is used for holding our message to the screen, as you'll see in a minute. So time buffer, I'll show you that in a minute. We have a delay here now to allow time for our logon info to be sent back from the server. When we go in, I've decided to use data timer 30 milliseconds. So it waits 30 milliseconds before we go into poll the events and check input and send data. This gives us time to receive our data from the logon. Might help. I haven't actually put that in yet. Create GUI every 1 second to stop the flashing. So we create our GUI on delta time of 1 second. Render all. There's nothing strange going on here. Render every frame, everything that we've got. We've got Bob rendered, and then we've got our message to the screen rendered. Things I've altered from part 1. Frame total in here, not delta time. And down the bottom we have frame end. Frame total equals frame end minus frame start. Data timer plus equals frame total. Delta time plus equals frame total. So there's 2 timers now. Delta time is looking at that section there for updating what we put on screen, and data is doing a 30 millisecond run looking at our input and sending data. We don't want to send data every frame. That'll just overload your server. Let's put it mildly. So if I run our client currently, you'll see this is now cleaned up a lot. So there we go. As you can see, the timer doesn't flash, and it's in milliseconds now, not microseconds, because I'm using a different timer. I'm not happy about that. I want to go back to the other timer now, because it doesn't give me the information that I'm really after, to be quite honest with you. But it all works. It all works nicely. So it's all working. We do have, every 30 milliseconds it'll check. Even if we hit the button, it still gets the events, so we're happy. Receive data. We now need to receive data and make sure that that's going to come back properly. So how do we do that? Well, how were we doing it before? We were reading it, weren't we? So this is, here we go, receive data, here we go. So we set it up that we receive some data from here, and then we did all this stupidity on strings, and then we did an if. Well, we don't need to do that now, do we? Okay. So this can be rewritten. We will need to store it somehow. So it's going to be a uint8 star, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, what haven't I used in naming conventions here? I'm just checking through for naming conventions. Okay, we seem alright actually. Let's have a look at the header file. We've got the font render window, yeah, Bob. Network user. So we can use our user. Alright. Don't need split result anymore, and I don't need split strings. IP address, MIP address, I don't need anymore. I've already got it. This is a client, isn't it? Oh no, we do need that. Alright, okay. We just don't need to split the data anymore because it's not going to be a string anymore. So, okay, let's see what else I've got in here we can get rid of. We can get rid of that. users being used and networks being used. Okay, that's okay then. So we can get rid of those and go back to the application. So what do we do here? Looking at receiving data. So what do we return from received data? Let's just have a good look at this first of all. We just get a uint8, the data. We get no other information. Okay. Right, and the user is the user off there. Yeah, okay. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a uint8 star equals, and it's going to be MMO SDK, colon, didn't we set one up? MUDPnet. Don't need that. We can use UDPnet, can't we? Receive data it is. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Let me switch to the computer off my notes. I made some notes last night. Let's see what I decided on for receiving data. I don't want to get it wrong a second time. That could be a tad embarrassing. Oh, by the way, if anybody wants a copy of this, you know, just ask for it, you know. I can always send you a zipped up file in an email or something, I suppose. It's not generally available because my boss won't let me do that. He says I'm only allowed to do that for Patreons, and I disagree with that. So if you do want a copy, you can have it. Just don't tell my boss. So we're going away from strings, and now we're going to be actually manipulating data raw data. So we should call it raw data, shouldn't we? Yeah, let's do that. We'll never duplicate that name. Raw data. That sounds good. Ah, dear. I know I'm silly. I don't mind having fun when I'm programming. Why not? We've changed everything. Oh, right, that system needs an update. Tough, you're not getting one. This is my messing about machine. It's just on my right hand side. Let's see what I was messing about at last night. Okay. Let's have a look. Alright. Yeah, we don't use that. Right, so what we can actually do now is a uint8. Is it a star? No. I want to pull it out of that. I want the value. But this will be So, message type, isn't it? Equals raw data 0. Alright, so we've now pulled out what message type it is. What can we do? We could enumerate them. No, don't do that yet. This is a prototype. I'm thinking ahead. Think too far there. Right, so if message type, there's a problem here. Why is there a problem? No, message type. I'm only going to have a couple, aren't we, of message types. Type is equal, let's say, to 2. Then, oh, this is going to be funny. Let's be a little bit naive about this. Let's be silly and put that m_user position x equals raw data. This is going to be funny. Data part 1. That's what we'll make it. I'm doing this on purpose because I know it's wrong. For the learning side of things, I think it's better to do it wrong first and then show you how to do it right afterwards. So this is probably what most people would try and do, and it's wrong, but hey ho. So I'm expecting 1 and 2 to be an X and a Y position if the message type is 2. If the message type is 5, we've got a different kettle of fish, haven't we? If the message, I mean, this could really be a switch, I suppose, but I'm not doing a switch on this yet. Equals 5, which is our magic number for logging on. Then we get our UUID, don't we? How are we going to do this? I've done it the other way round, haven't I? Alright. Doesn't matter. Oh god. Let me go through all of my junk. That sets the window title text, yeah. Alright, packet out address, yeah. Alright. Alright. Yeah. That's not right. Yes, it is, but it's not. Yeah, we just send the number 5 out, our magic thingy. So we need to get the answer. Okay, let's get the answer. I'm going to pop it in here. Alright, what do we need to receive? We need to receive all information. The idea of a UUID is not going to be needed, I don't think. Have I included it? I bet I have. Bet I have. I don't think I want it. World user.h. Yeah, I have. I've got this UUID thingy. Well, I don't need it because I'm going to be using the IP address and port. Okay. I can still use that. User IP. Yeah, we'll keep that. And is ready equals false. I think I'll keep that. Because at this stage, our is ready flag should be false. Okay. So we can still block. Yeah, but that blocks that. So this is ready business. Is not really going to help me, is it? Okay. Right. Message type 5. What do we get? What information do we get? Exactly the same as message type 2 to start off with, I think. I think that's all I'm going to need. Yeah, we'll just do the same. We'll blindly do the same. So we set our X position, we set our Y position, and we should really set the ready flag. I don't like that as well. You see, what we should really do here is put M underscore, but it then knackers up my data timer. Does that matter? That means you can't actually get out of the game until you're ready. Ooh, that is bad. I'm already putting a delay here to help it out. Underscore user. I do this, I put something in and then I try and use it and I can't do it properly. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put it in because we've got it there and I've thought about it and I've stupidly added it in. So I kept that simple. So there's only two types of message we can receive. And I want our server to do the same kind of thing where it limits its data output. So we get a delay. It'll be doing data output already. So we're going to be starting to receive data. Okay. And that's going to override. There it is. that's the other one. Okay. Right, so that's the only message type we can now receive until we've received it. Right, so we've blocked everything else. Yeah, okay. I'm happy now. So long as we're blocking. Let's say in chat, hello to all. Welcome to the first rewrite. Yeah. I love the rewrites. Always happens when I'm prototyping. I'll get to a stage where I've done something completely stupid and I'll go back and rewrite it. So it's not stupid. You see how... well, this is damn sight simpler than using strings. So, heck, I'll use it. I think we're okay on that. So we'll never get into there. According to theory, we should never get there. Save that out and try running it. And we should never be able to close it down. Because it's waiting. Yeah. As you can see, I've come up with the egg timer. It won't work. I can't do anything with it. It's not connected. So I can't actually do anything with this window until it's connected. Okay, fine. That's okay. So yeah, that works. That is ready thing is going to work. So it'll freeze up until we hit that message. Which means I don't really need to do an SDL delay. That's redundant. Because it's going to wait for a server response before it will actually do anything. Okay. Now all we need to do is give it a server response. Because we're using our position X and position Y here. Position X and position Y to move Bob around. As you can see, I put Bob in the center of the screen to make sure I know if this is working or not. And that's the application CPP, fully done. I can't think of anything else I want to put in there. We could log that because it only happens once. Okay, so we'll log this one. And this is connected to server. Okay, yeah, that'll do. I think I'm happier with that. I mean, that's the only log message I've got in here. Everything else seems to be working fine. So once I know I'm connected to the server, we're up and running, because we've got the data. And the data should then hit our X and Y and put us in the correct position for spawning, and not the center of the screen. Okay. I think we're getting somewhere. So let's have a look at this server, shall we? One sec. Okay, this is day 7. Day 7, part 2. First rewrite for client. And that means we have changed that one. Okay, I'll click that because everything's running and seems to be alright. Don't quote me on that. I'll store it. And I'll store it here as well, just in case I've made a complete mess of things. want to go back. It's just to give myself a running record on what I'm doing here with this button. It might work. Oh, it's working, is it? Yep, it's working. Are you going to give it us or not? Here we go. So client. Get rid of you. So as you can see, day 6 movement failed. So everything just didn't work. We got it working up to a certain point. We could move around the screen, but then when we attached the server, everything completely went to, well, something hitting the fan. So this is the first rewrite for the client. We're now going to do the server. So that's that done. That's the application done as far as I know. Let's get rid of that lot. So SDK's okay, client's okay. We just need a server now. Source. Application. So I don't agree with all of this rubbish. So everything in this while loop, out of here. Just go away. So cut. This gives me a chance to make sure my initialization and my executions are correct. Which they aren't. Look at this. Yeah, okay. Let's just pop down here a minute. Do that. Well, I don't need the last bit doing, do I? There we go. Edit. Block comment that out. Okay. So what do we got here? Strings we've got to get rid of. Split result we've got to get rid of. The map. No, I'm keeping. So that's our just game state we're going to have on that. Timer. I think we're going to use the timers. Let's see what we've got available to us here. Yeah, we'll get rid of you. You're not going to work for us now. Strings, get rid of. Oh no, we do need it. Whoops. Vector. Don't think we're going to need. Take you out. We'll keep the map. Okay. Yep, we're alright there. Alright there, split result, get rid of. So we only need 2 things. No, 3 things. We are going to keep a UUID here. Well, no, we're not. Num users. Do we need that? No, we don't. That's that gone. Lovely. So all we need is a network. That's more like a server. It should be very, very simple, a server. As simple as you can make it. Right, let's make sure I haven't broken stuff up here, which I have. Excellent, so those 2 lines can disappear. Fantastic. That is supposed to be empty. Let's make sure it is. And we delete that. Yeah. Do we need to delete that? Ah. Right, we're doing that. Yeah, okay. Is that what I did in the application? Don't know. I better check it though. Client. Source. Application. Yeah, it is. Good. As long as we are following on. Wow. Let's get me coffee. Oh, it's going cold already. So we've got to rewrite this. That's a good place to start, isn't it? What else have we got? Anything? We should have a broadcast. Yeah, we'll do a broadcast. But I don't want to broadcast every single every single time on the loop. But I've got a delay going in. We could make that 30 milliseconds, couldn't we? That'd be bad. Alright, yeah, we're going to need timers. There's no two ways about that. What we need to do is broadcast to all users every... What's a good number? 20 milliseconds? We'll try that. So we'll have a start and an end, and a date, broadcast timer. Yeah, okay, we can do that. And I also want a delay in there to stop my processor from going absolutely numptied up. It's just to save my processor being completely clobbered. So we'll put an SDL underscore delay in. That's the first thing that I've got to do. I can make it anything really, but let's go with 10 milliseconds. So we've got that in. And it's uint 32, isn't it? So the game state is that. I'll put this as timers. Yeah. uint 32. And we will have a start time. Thank you. I don't know why it does that. uint 32 end time. These can all equal 0 to start off with. Okay. And a uint 32, and we'll have a delta time. And that can equal 0. Lovely. So let's put our start time in here. Start time equals SDL get ticks. That one. There we go. End time equals SDL get ticks. That's the one. And delta time is different. So we do need a last one. We need the timer. So uint 32 data timer. Oh no, broadcast timer. Okay, so the delta time equals end time minus start time, and broadcast timer then can be moved on, plus equals delta time. That's alright. It's looking good. That's a timer. That's a proper timer. So broadcast is going to be if broadcast timer is greater than or equal to, let's say, 20 milliseconds for sake of argument. Don't really know, don't really care. Then we broadcast, and we reset our broadcast timer. At the end of it. Okay, so we've got received data, and we've now got the framework to broadcast with. We've got the proper timers in. We can add timers if we want to do more. And let's start looking at how we're going to receive data, shall we? So it's going to be a u int 8 star raw data equals, and did we set it up? Yes, we did. So it's m_udp net. Luckily I kept the same variable name, so I know what I'm doing. And that's received data. Okay. Have we got a user? No, we don't. So we'll need one of those. So if raw data, oh god, we can't check. Yes, we can. uint 8, just do the same as we did before. Message type equals raw data 0. Awesome. So we can switch on it. So if it doesn't equal anything, it doesn't equal anything, does it? I'm just wondering whether I should set that before doing the receive data or not. Yeah, might be wise to error check there. It might crash. Let's see if it crashes. I think that's the best way of doing it, and then we'll error check it if it does. I think that might crash. Yeah, probably. Knowing my luck. So I'll show you how to do it the switch way, I guess. So we switch on the message type. I don't know if it's going to work doing it this way. Oh god, this is going to be funny. Let's see, case. Let's just see what happens first of all. So case 0, for instance, we could use as SDL underscore log. No, this is wrong. SDL underscore log. What can we use 0 for? Let's use it for a logout. Let's just say logout. No. I'm not going to choose. There we go. Break. Isn't it? Yeah. That's how it works, isn't it? Yeah, that's a switch. Case 5 we need, don't we? We need case 2 and case 5. So case 2 colon, what we'll do is put an SDL underscore. That's going to get spammed, isn't it? Okay, let's not do case 2 for now. Let's do case 5 colon SDL underscore log. And we're just going to put user logged in message type 5. That'll do. So that's all I want for now. That's message. That's our raw data coming in. Okay, raw data going out. We don't have any. Just have a broadcast timer. And I'm going to need a break, aren't I? We're supposed to have a default on these, aren't we? Break. Weck. Yeah, I'm already not liking this. Yeah, I think I like it better if I use these like this. Yeah, I'll set it up like that. So it's more meaningful to me. There we go, that's our switch. That's going to be our switch. Our broadcast, every 20 milliseconds, we are going to broadcast to every single user the current state of that user. And to start off with, there aren't going to be any users, are there? Because it's that... it's going to be that Dubry. That we haven't set up properly. That's interesting. We've got the map, but we never set it up properly. So it would never have worked anyway. How did we set it up in here? We don't seem to have done anything. Five. User map. I probably deleted it. Can't see it. We don't seem to initialize our user map. There it is. It's under game state. But we're not using it. Okay, we better use it. Otherwise it'll complain. Let it complain. Let's just try that anyway. Terminal, run build task, server, first build. No complaints. Okay. I need to try and put a response in here. Otherwise we can't close down the client. We need to respond on case 5. So how shall we respond to case 5? Okay. We will create something to send. So it'll be a uint8, and we'll call it initial data. And that is going to equal, we're going to give ourselves 64. Give ourselves 64 bytes to play with for the initial data. I think that's only fair. Is that going to work? We're going to need positions for the player or user, as it were. Do we already have those? Yeah, it's a new user, you see. We do have that. User, there. So we are going to have user star this user that might be a bad name equals a new user. And that's MMO SDK. If I remember rightly, we did give it defaults. So we'll let it have the defaults. So we are, just double check now. Client, source, application. We are waiting for raw data. Raw data equals type 5. So we want a 5, an X, and a Y. So let's do that then. So initial data 0. 0 equals a 5. Initial data 1 is the X position, which will be our user's X. So this user, yeah, nearly makes sense. Put an S on the end. So it'll equal this user's X position. God, this is so not going to work. Initial data 2. So as you can see, all I'm doing is matching it up here between the client and the server to make sure I'm sending out the right information. And it's totally wrong because I'm doing it in such a basic way that you're going to see massive errors in this very, very quickly. And the isRead equals true. Doesn't really matter, does it? I suppose we should set isRead equal to true. Does it matter? Because all we're going to do is send the data. Does send data give anything back? Not that I'm aware of. Oh, it does give an int back, but that's just the number of packets sent. So int OK equals m underscore UDPnet, and we will send data, and it requires our initial data, comma, the length, we'll say 3. It's 3 items of data, isn't it? 5, 1, 2, so that's 3, comma, the IP address, which is, I left it open, UDPnet, if I remember rightly. There it is, user's IP. I had to do that as a hack, which I shouldn't do, but hey ho, it's there, so I'm going to use it. And that's what I'm going to send. And that should reposition us on screen. So I'm only dealing with case 5 now. Okay. We'll do case 2 in a minute or two. Right, so let's have a double check of this. Does it seem right? Is that basic enough? I hope it is. Because we're taking away all the string messing around, and we're just going to do raw data messing around. So position X and position Y. I need to know the initial values of what we're just given them. Does it tell us? No, it doesn't. Of course. $200 by 200. Shall we make it 50 by 50? Because then it'll be obvious, because it'll be right up in the top left-hand corner. It's in a header file. Yeah, well, we'll make it 50 by 50. So it's definitely not the center of the screen. That's our spawn point. I don't need to rebuild, I know. It's a header file. There we go. But it's already told me that you didn't need to do that. You don't need to rebuild after changing a header file. You need to rebuild the application it affects. So, run build task, client. Lovely. Run build task, server. I didn't use it after all that. Yeah, we're not using that yet. So we'll just skip that. A run build task, server. Excellent. No bugs or anything. Hiding. Here comes a moment of truth. Dare I do it? Of course I dare. Blades. If I'm going to mess it up, I mess it up. I don't mind. So let's run the server. It's just going to hang around until somebody tells it not to. I hope. I'm still doubting myself. So there it is, hanging around. I'll pop it there. And let's see what happens when we get the client in now. He's moved. We connected to server, and he's moved into the top left hand corner. User logged in, message type 5. We've done it. We have connected properly and moved our character from the center to the top left. That's fantastic. That means we can now start using the keyboard. I'm rather chuffed at that. It worked first time. Wow. Am I getting good or am I getting good? The server. No, we'll shut it down from here. So the client should be able to shut down from the window, which it does. Even though it's got 30 millisecond delay, it still responds very quickly to you clicking on that button. We can't, as human beings, we can't really tell there's a 30 millisecond delay, should I say. That works nicely. Thank you. So that is day 7. Server rewrite. Part 2. And I'll say build and run. So that worked. Build and run with client. So there we go, full stop. That's good enough. Copy. So that's only change on the client. Oh, okay. That's a change on there, so I've got to put that one in. Because we did change it, and it worked fantastically. I can show you now, I hope. No, I can't. Because I can't move the damn window. Oh God, I'm clever. Don't think you can see it. Come on, let's get these messages fired off. I'm clogging things up. Okay, that's the first rewrite done. Now we can progress as before, where we are going to use the server to move the character. This is a fun bit. So every time we go through the client, source application. So every time we come through here, we are going to get to this top bit. We've got the bottom bit done. We've got part 5 done. We now want to do part 2. Yeah, great numbering system I've got. Part 2, message type 2. So that's what we're going to build. Let's see if I can do this successfully. And this is it. This is message type 2. Awesome. How are we going to do this? We're going to have to invent a message for type 2. How should we put that together? All right. Yeah. We can ask for the keyboard state as before. I can't see why not. Let's do the keyboard state as before. We can pop that in here, can't we? So last time we just used the keyboard state. So const uint keyboard equals get keyboard state. Is that right? Yeah. And then I had this input data string, which is now no need. So I will copy that. We'll have the keyboard. Ah, lovely. This works out so much easier. So grab the keyboard. And then we need to read from the keyboard. So this comes under this. So let's start filling it in. Okay. Uint 8. It is what we need, isn't it? Okay. And we'll call it input data. And we will have a size of 5 to make it all wrong. Actually, no, it doesn't. That makes it correct. Yeah, that's all we need. So we need to set that up. I've forgotten that. I know I don't need the equal sign. Don't worry. I don't like doing it with that there. So let's set the values up. We're going to set it up with value message type 2, comma 0, comma 0, comma, and 4 zeros. Yeah. I think that's roughly about it. Yeah, no. Should that work? Is that correct? Can't check it because of that. I think that's right. Yeah, that's okay. That's working all right. Okay, so all we're going to do is the if statements again, aren't we? And change a 0 to a 1. We don't need the else's. That makes it easier. So we get that if statement. Actually, no. I'll just take that if statement. So copy. And we'll have that 4 times. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's W, and then we can use S. That'll be the Y variables. S. And I had D and of course A. All we need to do here is put that input data and that is going to be 1 equals 1. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, this is bad programming. I don't really care. 1, 2, 3, and 4 makes 5. Correct. And that's in 0. Excellent. So that's the input data sorted out. All we need to do is send it. That's interesting. Never thought of that before. Do we need to send a data null character? I think we do. I'm just thinking about this at the top. Is it 1 or 2 bytes? What about the null byte at the end? Doesn't really matter because we're doing direct reading, doesn't? I hope. Because that is... It's only 4 items of data. 4, 5, no, isn't it? It's 5 items of data. Okay. Alright, I'm just thinking past my own thingies. Yeah, we can just send it. Yeah, we can just send it in the data times 0. Alright, let's do that. So, after we've done that, we can just UDP net, is it? Yeah. m_UDP net. We will send data to... I forgot what the IP address is. Data will be input data. Length 5. And IP address, I think it's just m_IP address. m_IP address, there we go. Like that. Yeah. So what we do basically is set it all up with zeros. In other words, the key hasn't been pressed, and then we just say this key's been pressed, this key's been pressed, this key's been pressed, or this key's been pressed, or multiples of that. And that has to now be received on the other side. I think that works. Client. If it builds, it should be alright. Right, I think it's okay. So all we're going to tell the server is which keys have been pressed. The server now has to alter our X and Y. So let's go back to our server. And source and application. So, case 2. We'll pop it in here, I suppose. May as well put them in order, because we can. And of course there's a break at the end of it. Alright, in case 2, if we receive a 2 followed by a set of 1s, we have to look up what data we got. Is it just raw data we're using here? Yes, it is. Type 5 was done. So if raw data 1, yeah, it's true. If, because we'll set it to a 0 or 1, if raw data, alright, thank you for that. I've got a notification. Oh, that's from this morning, right. Raw data 1 is on, has been switched on, then we have to move this user's, we have to get this user now, don't we? Yes, we do. We have to dig this user out of the map, and I don't think we've even put this user into the map. We haven't. So first of all, we have to store the fact that this user exists. We've logged them on, but we haven't stored it. And that's where I finished up with that there. Yeah, I remember. Alright, so the first thing we've got to do now is, if okay, we can store the user. How are we going to do that? We're going to use this map, but I need a key. Okay, what we're going to use for the key? We're going to use what we used before. What did we use before? 5. Standard string user key, that's the one. So it was that one there. This is 5, isn't it? Dun, 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 dun. Copy. Let's go back up with that. So we've done the positioning, and that's worked this time. Our logon worked properly. So we need this in here. Whoa, 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 whoa. This user. Okay, the user key was toString UDP. Yep, that's okay. Yep, that's okay. Yep, that's okay. Damn long line. Really? Should split it in two, shouldn't I? Yes, you should do that, Blades. For readability, we'll take that plus down. There. Okay. And that's done properly now. So we now have our user stored in the map, and we have this user key thingy. So we're going to need that again, aren't we? So we're going to need that here on case 2. Oh God, why does it keep doing this to me? Actually, I can leave that there. Lovely. So we know what the user key is. That's obvious, because that will always translate to the same thing for the same person. Doesn't matter who they are, whoever contacts us, they will always use the same IP and port. I hope. So this is case 2. We've now got a message in. So let's see what we can do. I think we need to pull it out of the packets, you know. But we also need to get our user out of the map. So let's get our user out of the map first. That's possibly a good idea. And our user equals, I think I've done it right down here actually. Yeah, I was messing around, I had to switch this off. So yeah, there we go. I think that's right. Is it a star? Yes, it is. It's a pointer, so we can copy that. That's alright, and then it's all this lot that's going to be different. Okay. That's right. This line we want. And there we go, that's the user. And now we want to pull out all the information from the raw data. We can't do that. That's not going to work. So what did we have? I'll pop you there. So it's going to be a uint8. I know that. And we had up for W, didn't we? So W. No, we'll call it up. Up, forwards, forwards, forwards. And whatever I cut out of there. Like that. Yeah? Does that make sense? I think it does. Yeah, let's go with that idea and see where it leads us. uint8. I don't want to try second guessing myself here backwards. Let's just get it done and see if it'll work. So it's raw data. And that's going to be 2. Let's just get this. I don't actually think we have to do this, but I'm doing it to make sense in my own head. It was right. RIGHT equals raw data. And that's 3. And the last one, of course, uint8 left equals raw data 4. So if forwards, then we want to take this user's X, so that is user, no, Y, position Y, and we want minus. Minus equals, what did we set? 1, I think. Can't remember, but I will start it with 1. What the heck? There's 4 of these. There we go. And plus that one. To go down, we can plus that one. And that's an X. And that's an X. And that's a minus. Yeah, okay. Hope that works. Backwards. Right. And left. go. So what we do is we change the user's state or game state. So that's that done there. So case 2, we will get the user key because they must have logged on to be sending us a case 2. That's for definite. And then we take the user out of the map, which is users map, plural. Make sure I've done it right. Yep. And then we take the raw data that we've received in. Yeah, this is looking alright actually. Transfer it into forwards, backwards, right and left. And if it's forwards, backwards, right or left, we just add to that user's position. And that's it. That's a star, so it goes by pointer. That means that that is altered directly through the address. So it'll stick. We don't need to do anything else. We could issue a game update. Maybe that's better than using timers. We could use that. No, we couldn't. Right, okay. We now need to do the broadcast for it to take effect. We've changed them, but we're not broadcasting the effect. So broadcast the effect is this one here. This is one that I took out, isn't it? Yeah. We'll take that and we'll adjust it. We will adjust it, I think. So it goes in here. Like that. Okay. So, for standard pair MMO user element users map. Yeah, that's correct. So far, we're right. Pop that there. Pop that there. Alright, this next part is wrong. So it isn't message, it's data. So let's start using the right words here. Broadcast data. So uint 8 broadcast data, and then it's going to be we'll give ourselves 64 again. And that's okay. Equals 0, close brackets, semicolon, get rid of you. Right, so we're broadcasting on 2 updates. So this isn't really a broadcast, it's just an update. Updates all people, all clients at the same time. So, broadcast data. And that is 0 is going to equal 2. And now it just needs an X and a Y, doesn't it, from the user. There we go. And we now need to construct that properly, so that goes out of the window. And it just needs an X and a Y at this point. So it's just MMO SDK blah blah blah. Why is that a problem? Because I haven't done that. Excellent. Right, let's build it. One space too many, typical of me. So it's broadcast data 1. And that equals, it's going to be user. And we said X. Broadcast data 2. I know this is wrong, don't worry. If anybody's following this, I will show you the correct path, but I want to do the wrong one first, otherwise I'm not going to learn. I know this is wrong, but it's why it's wrong that's important. And then, yeah, we just do this, don't we? So it's going to be broadcast data, copy, paste. Don't need that, because I know the number now. It's 3. And it isn't user's IP, it is, yes it is. Yeah, that's right. That matches. So I'll take that out of there. And put that in there. There we go. That's properly spaced now. Yeah. It's looking good. Have I run out of drink? Yeah, I have. Oh, let's get some orange juice. Oh, orange juice. Good stuff. There we go, that's some of that. This isn't looking too bad. It's more simplistic than using strings, I must admit. So all I'm expecting to receive is an X and a Y. Is that correct? I think it is, but let's just try build. Everything should be used properly this time. Oh, that's alright. Build's okay. On the client side, double check that when we receive a 2, message type 2, we just read 1 and 2 into the X and the Y. Yes, we do. Okay. Terminal build task, and that's client. Done. Okay. Time of truth. Is this going to work? Well, I dare not look at it. Let's try build and running. Okay, give me a server. Okay, there's our server. Here's our client. Oh, it's moved. Right, I'm not getting any response from the keyboard, which is fine. So we got the log on. I don't think we got the next bit right. Okay. That's fine. Didn't work. But this time, probably for a better reason. Let's have a look at the client first of all. Alright, let's see if we can fix the client. Is it receiving type 2s? That's a good question. That's solid. That's the game state. So it should be receiving a type 2 every 30 milliseconds, or 20 milliseconds. So let's see if we can spam that. It'll just cause a load of spam. Log. And this is positions updated. I'm not going to print anything out because I can see on screen where he is. So let's see if we can cause that to spam, which is the interesting part. So I could have just left the server running for this part actually. Okay, let's get going. Thank you. Right, so we've got our server running. All we need now is our client running, which has to redo itself. Okay. Info connected to server. There's no spam, which means it's not receiving a reply from the server. It's not getting the information back. And I think I know the answer to that. Because I need the IP address. Okay, well, how did I store the IP address? That's the first thing. So on input data, no, let's get out of there. It's on the server side, this. I'm sure it is. It's how I'm handling things on the server is just rubbish at the moment. Ah, bless. So, what have I got here? I'm sending that to users user IP. Well, what is the user's user IP? That should be stored on part incoming 5. So that's case 2, case 5. So we send data out and we put him in the map, but we don't actually keep the user's IP. Oops. Right. That is silly of me. So this user needs a user IP. And do I have a place to store it? There. User's IP equals m underscore udpnet arrow user's IP. It helps if I actually store it. Otherwise, when we come down to use it, here, it isn't available to us. And I haven't a clue where I've just been spamming data to, but it wasn't to us. So let's rebuild our server. Oh dear, I don't know. Okay, that's doing good. And now, moment of truth, do we get our spam? We should. Yes, we do. Fantastic. There we go. That's the spam. That's what I want, so we'll just click you off. Now remember, I have to stop the server because we haven't done a cleanup for logging out. We have to do log out after this. And we haven't even mentioned it yet. But we need to log people out properly. Otherwise, obviously, we're just going to have a map full of logged out users. So that seems to be working alright. They're coming out. It's being sent. Can we now use that data? So let's just get the spam out of the way. Client it was, it's spamming. Source, application. Ah, 2 please. Just take that off. Alright, I think it should work now. To be honest with you. Now I've cleaned that up. I think we're now close to a client server. A lot closer now to a client server than we were at the end of yesterday, which was a complete and utter disaster, as we know. Client, yeah, you can recompile yourself if you want to. Okay, here's our client. There's nothing to see on there. Don't think there's much to see on there either. There he is. We've got movement. And that's via the server. But. There you go. Downwards. It's not hard to notice, because it's a bit of an obvious one. Do you know what's happening? Does anybody know what's happening? Why it's wrong? See, he's just done it again now. If we go off the top, he'll come back on the bottom here. Alright, so the size of our screen goes to about here-ish. About there. That's... we can only move in that space. There. Total. Why? Without doing lots of spamming of STL logs, I already know the answer. But why? And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. I wanted to show you the wrong way of doing it before tomorrow I go on to fix this and we go on to do the log out. Otherwise we can't log out and then re-log back in, and it becomes a little bit of a nuisance. I also want to say how many users in here, so I do want an extra thing here. Alright. I'm not sure. We can do that on the type 5 message, can't we? User logged in, and then total number of users. Yeah. Because we've got no way of turning this off at the moment. So that's working. Ah. I'm actually quite happy that the rewrite worked. Bit quicker doing it on the rewrite when you got everything, you know, pre-done, but hey ho. That's it. We will stop at this point and consider the joys of the universe that we've just made. The first step into our MMO game. We have our player using a server to move. So this is day 7, isn't it? We can now say that we're on day 7 complete. Day 7. Rewrite complete. Server client works with error. So I know that the error's there. We'll fix that on day 8. And that's that done. Oh, we didn't change anything. Whoops. So it goes on that one. And it goes on that one. Lovely. All set for tomorrow. I'm a bit happier now because I wanted to have this done by today. Today we were supposed to have started with that. But because I was messing with strings, we never did. So there's your finals. That's what a client looks like, and that's what a server looks like. So I'll put the server up for you, just to show you the application. I can't fit it all on one screen now, can I? So basically how the server is working is execute app. We set up a game state using maps and timers. We go through and we have a start time, raw data received, and our raw data 0 is the message type. We can then switch on the message type. Actually that really belongs there, doesn't it? No, don't do that. Just don't do that. Just don't bother. Message type. I always fiddle with my code when I go through it. Case 0 is probably going to be the logout message. Case 2 is update, forwards, backwards, right and left on whichever person, client sends it in. This is actually now multi-client, by the way. I haven't displayed that. I wonder if I could. Would it work? One second, let me brain think that through. Hold on a minute, have I already done it by accident? It would be the kind of thing that I'd do by accident. So I'm an idiot. So let's just get a client going. I don't know if I'm allowed to have 2 clients running. Right, let's just move you out of the way first. See if another one pops up. Just so you can see that's the first client there. Will another one pop up if I do another client, or can I not? No, I can't. So what I have to do instead is clients. Debug. We're in. We're on Windows, and it will be MMO client.exe. Oh, it flashed on and flashed off again. I think I broke it. It didn't run. Right, it's because, yeah, I can't run it twice. Why not? Why can't I run it twice? There's a reason for it. Oh, so it did work. It did try and log on, but it failed. It's because it might be using the same socket. I'd have to put, I'd have to run it on a separate machine, wouldn't I? Okay, I'll start setting that up for tomorrow then. Because I know it works with multiplayer, so as you could see, I can log on. To be tested. Interesting. Get rid of all of that. I'm quite happy with that. There we go. End of today is a good one for once. So, yeah. I've introduced all the timing, so I've done all of that. That's a big tick. It's our first rewrite. A huge tick. And we've got a tick there now. It's just that multiplayer I need to set up to make sure everything's multiplayer. And then we have to do log off. So it's multiplayer and log off tomorrow. So I've got a bit of work to do tonight to actually set this up on a different computer. Because I only have one Windows computer and we're on it. There we go. So how do I save this? Save as. Current. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye. And thanks to everybody out there. I wish you all well. And keep delving into that. Keep delving into it. Keep struggling along. But we're now on our way to a multiplayer game. And that's the first beginnings of an MMO. So tomorrow we are going to start hunting for the M in MMO. Yes, that's it. Hunt the M. So take care. God bless. And have fun.